Are we live? Are we live? Cool. So today we're going to have a lesson, a recorded lesson because of our test prep that has to do with the attributes of a rectangle. And I know you guys probably already know all this, but let's review. So the first thing we're going to do is look at this rectangle. This is a rectangle. She said, attributes are words or phrases that we can use to describe shapes. Did you know that's what an attribute was? He said, oh, so if I say this shape has right angles, that would be an attribute of this rectangle. That's right. Shapes can have more than one attribute. This rectangle also has straight sides, which are perpendicular. So right angles are here. Let's see what we got down here. Let me do this. I can use my pen. This is a right angle. It's basically the shape that an edge of a piece of paper is. These are perpendicular lines when two lines have a right angle and one comes down like that. Those are perpendicular, so that's what they're talking about there. I wonder what else they're going to say. Let's go see. What do you notice? What shapes do you see? I see a rectangle. Is this a rectangle? Yeah. Is this a rectangle? Maybe. Is this a rectangle? No. No, why? Oh, I see. It doesn't have a full line. This is not a rectangle. Is this a rectangle? It looks sort of like this, but not. All right, let's keep going. Let's look. Rectangle? Don't know. What about this one? This one? This one? Well, here's a shape sort. What do you notice? Well, all of these are rectangles. And all of these are not rectangles. What do you notice? Why are these not rectangles? Miss Carr, this one has rounded edge. Rectangles don't have rounded edges. Yeah. Miss Carr, this one doesn't even finish the line. This one's not a rectangle. Yeah. Miss Carr, this one's a trapezoid because it has one set of parallel lines and one set of lines that are opposite, that are not parallel. Is this a trapezoid? No, because none of these lines are parallel. What about this one? Is this a trapezoid? Yes, it's a trapezoid because these two lines are parallel. You could extend them forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and they will never touch. They go on and on and on and on. These two will end up touching at some point. Oh, they are not parallel. So let's see what we're going to do next. What's next? Oh, attributes of let me get myself out of the way. Attributes of rectangles. This is a rectangle. Is it open? Oh, you're going to drag this over. Open is like this. This is open. Does it have a line of symmetry? You guys know line of symmetry. Does it have is it closed? Is a rectangle closed? These are rectangles. Does it have any acute angle? Oh, those angles are so acute. Those are the angles that are less than 90 degrees. Is it symmetrical? Could you fold it in half and it would be on each other? Does it have any obtuse angles? Are they big, wide angles? Does it have curved sides? Do they have parallel lines, right angles, perpendicular sides, straight lines? Drag and drop the things that make sense into this gray box on slide 6. Here are some clues for that previous box. What are some attributes of rectangles? Read below to see what other students noticed. This girl says, a rectangle is closed. It does not have any openings. This guy says, the sides from across from each other are parallel. Rectangles have two parallel sides. They are symmetrical. All the rectangles have at least two lines of symmetry. Let's see what else you guys get to do. Oh, this is fun. Choose one of the shapes inside this loop and think about why it is not a rectangle. Then drag the shape to the gray box and explain your reasoning. You could use these words here to describe one of these shapes. None of these are rectangles. Choose one and describe why it is not a rectangle, and then choose another shape and describe why it is not a rectangle. And then we're going to read these slides. These are not rectangles. These don't have right angles. One of them is curved and the other is open. They cannot be rectangles. And these are not symmetrical. They have one line of symmetry, and for a rectangle, you have to have at least two lines of symmetry. So we're going to remember what a quadrilateral, everybody say quadrilateral, it's a big long word. Quadrilaterals are shapes with four sides and four corners. I notice that some of the attributes for rectangles are true for other quadrilaterals that are not rectangles. Did you notice that too? So we could say the rhombus has two lines of symmetry, but it is not a rectangle. Why? Yeah, because these angles are not right angles. Let's see. This guy says, I agree the parallelogram and the rhombus both have two pairs of parallel lines, but they are not rectangles. Why? Bingo. Because their angles are off, right? Let's look at a rectangle. So what makes a rectangle so special? All of these shapes are quadrilaterals. They all have four sides and four vertices, but some are rectangles and some are not. What sets the rectangles apart from the other quadrilaterals? You're going to write some sentences in this box about rectangles, and you can use the words on these slides. These are really good things to write about rectangles. They are all attributes of rectangles. What makes these so special? Finally, I'm going to ask that you do a shape sort. All of these shapes are piled up. Can you move them into the right circle? You're going to put them into the correct circle. This is the circle for rectangles. This is the circle for things that are not rectangles, and that's it for math today. So I'm going to review with you one more time. You have a couple of slides to work on. Slide 6, attributes of rectangles. Slide 8, choosing what is not a rectangle and saying why it's not. Same thing for slide 9. Then you're going to talk about what makes a rectangle so special and do a shape sort. And that's it. I hope you have fun. I love this stuff, huh? It's really, really fun.